Hey guys, welcome to Microsoft Windows 1.0. This is what started it all. This is the original Microsoft GUI. This is the first visual graphics that existed in a Microsoft Windows environment. This particular system was built on VMware. It is semi-customized in order to run this. I will include the link to where you could get the VMDK file, but I can't promise you that it'll run on your hardware, as it required a little bit to get it to function. Now that said, this particular machine is really not doing anything other than running Windows 1.0. This machine has 64 megs of RAM. It has one processor core, and I believe it has 250 megabytes of hard drive space. So what did Windows 1.0 give you? Well, it's the first operating system from Microsoft to give you a mouse, so that's something. Out of the box, it gave you things like Notepad, and pretty much everything that still exists in Windows 10 kind of exists on here. I mean, we have the Notepad, and we have MS-DOS, so we could go back to command prompt. We have Microsoft Paint, which has existed forever. Write, which is really not Notepad, but the notebook that's built into Windows as well. Other than that, I mean, we have a calculator. We have a control panel. So if we click on this, then we could see, we have options to change the blink of the cursor and the double click speed. We have installation. So if we go in here, we could actually click. And the thing is you have to click and hold in this operating system, not like the later one. So if I release the click, it goes away. We could add a printer. We could set up the communications port, so like COM ports. We could change the screen color. We can modify the mouse. If we go and we click on this link up here, we could actually change the icon on the bottom here. So this is where you would click to save the settings. If we click here, we could close this particular window, which brings us back to the original Windows location. In here we have, say, Microsoft Paint. You can double click on that. We have Paint. Again, realize this is very rudimentary because most of the machines that existed when this came out didn't have color screens. It wasn't like the VGA connections we have now where there's 4K displays on machines. That was not a thing. Usually you would get, if you were lucky, you would get kilobytes of visual graphic, if not bytes. The color palette, I believe, on these things was capable of handling 64 colors. So really pretty close to what you would get on your original NES system, and in some cases even less, depending again on what you had for a piece of hardware to run it. Also keep in mind that when this operating system came out, a lot of the computers that were out were thousands of dollars. The machines that would run this at this time probably would run you $5,000 to get this amount of colors on the screen. It wasn't like today where you could go buy a $300 machine that'll outperform this system in every way. That said, is it usable in 2024? I'm going to go with no. Not unless you have the antique hardware to actually run it, because running it virtual is pretty pointless. It's very limited. If you are maybe like a fan of the Reversey game, you could play in here. But otherwise, this isn't something that I would ever say is still usable in today's day and age. I would actually argue that MS-DOS is probably more usable than this is. But this is the original Windows operating system. This is where it all started. So if you were ever curious what Windows 1.0 looked like, well, now you know what Windows 1.0 looked like. Like and subscribe for more videos. Hope you enjoyed this blast from the past, guys. Take it easy.